You tell me one.
Well, Alejandro, thank you so much for helping with my project. Could you say a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Alejandro Guajardo. I'm from Mexico. I'm David's brother, which is a friend of yours. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. One of my favorite hobbies, as you may see, is the reef tanks, saltwater fish, and the corals, and everything regarding to the ocean, science, coral reproductions, fish, of course, space, everything related to science is which I love the most. Currently, I'm working in the automotive industry. I'm in the purchasing department, and I'm pretty happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm so fortunate to know your brother, and you know, to get to meet you. Uh,
Mhm.
David, somebody that you could call up and say, "Hey, David, I'm working on this project, and I don't have anybody to interview today." And he says, "Give me 5 minutes," and he gets somebody.
No, that if anything I can help you, I'm more than glad to assist you in everything that you need.
But it's kind of interesting if you think about the aquarium behind you. In a way, that's sort of like us going into space. It's a completely artificial environment in a hostile place for those animals.
No, that's right. It's kind to be playing like being God. If you, there is a way to say it because this is like you said, it's an enclosure aquarium. So this is a 150-gallon tank, and I have a special lighting, which is consistent UV lighting, and you have to have a specific salinity, and you need to check out for the calcium, and magnesium, and all trace elements, and it's really nice, and it's pretty weird and awesome that the humanity knows more about in space than the deep parts of the sea. So that's kind of weird that we don't know too much about what's in the deep part because it's more expensive or more difficult to be in deep waters than is going to space, which is crazy for me.
Yeah, I guess the pressure is so
Mm,
much. Uh,
yes, that's correct. But that's what I do. That's what I love, and but yes, that's why we are here.
um, when did you get your first tank? Do you remember the first time you had a reef tank?
Oh yeah, sure. It was like when I was like 9 years old, which is curious because that's the time when I received my first telescope for a birthday present. So I received my first telescope, and also I purchased my first aquarium, which was a 5-gallon tank with the typical goldfish, that everyone get on the parties or whatever place that you may think. And it was then when I started to be in this world. And recently, like 4 years ago, I did the jump to the salt water, which is the top of the line, the most difficult, which includes the corals.
Do you have a lot of equipment that purifies the water and takes out all the impurities?
Oh yeah, sure, of course. You may see this is the main display. I don't know if it looks nice because the blue color it's saturates the lenses of the camera, but you maybe you can see there's the corals, and I have here the wave makers that creates all the current to simulate the movements of the sea. And then I have below here all the magic. And
Wow.
this is the, yeah, you need to have, this is a protein skimmer, which is like a chamber that makes bubbles and pull out everything, all the feces and all the bad stuff. It's the thing that purifies everything. And I have another reactors and special lighting and the return pump and all the equipment and everything that you need to have all of this.
Wow. And what kind of maintenance do you have to do in terms of changing the water and cleaning the filters and all that stuff, doing testing?
Oh, it's terrible, but it's worth every single minute that you spend here. I change about 15 or 20% of water each month. I clean the glass every day, which is some kind of stressing, but it's fast. And also the sump, which is the place below that I have all the equipment. I clean it like one every 10 days, 12 days, more or less. That's the time that I spend doing all the maintenance and everything. But it's really, really worth. And this is the main display. And also I have a special tank to reproduce the corals, which is over here. This is a 20-gallon aquarium. It's a small one, but I have anemones there. Uh, and I have like a different frags of corals. I don't know if you can see them.
I can.
Yeah, so there are like small pieces that I got from the main display and then put it here in a controlled environment. Then I can reproduce them, and then I sell it to my friends. And
That
this
is
is a smaller
amazing.
one.
Oh, where are you located?
I'm in Matamoros, Tamaulipas, which is in the border with Brownsville, Texas. You know, like in McAllen, maybe you know.
Oh, yes, yes. I mean, your brother is headed down to Boca Chica to watch the SN8 SpaceX launch
Oh,
tomorrow.
ex- exactly. I'm like maybe 10 miles from there. So it's just 5 minutes to me to get to the border, and then I'm practically in Boca Chica, and then it's like 5 or 10 minutes more to get to the SpaceX.
Wow, that's amazing. So, do you think you might be able to see it from where you are?
Yeah, sure. That's
Oh,
I'm probably yeah. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to go tomorrow to the how do you spell Baghdad Beach. That's the name of the part of Mexico, which
okay.
is this is right in front of the SpaceX. I hope it's safe to be there because Elon Musk put a Twitter that maybe some pieces of the shuttle will be in the Mexico side. So well, I hope I'm safe. If not, I'm going to be the first one to be killed by Elon Musk.
That is not what we want to have happen.
I know. Just to be a little bit of more, uh,
I
I don't
I
know.
I'd rather Alejandro's aquarium on the moon makes him famous as opposed to
I know. And my brother always told me like, yeah, you know how to reproduce corals, which is super difficult. Maybe you should start to do hydroponic or find a way to how to do that in space or I don't know, no, something like that.
yeah. I wonder how an aquarium would hold up, going through a launch, of all the shaking and vibration and the forces.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if it's the glass, maybe acrylic or something, but that will really nice to see how the fish and everything will uh I don't know, like working in space without zero gravity and everything. That I never thought about that, but it's crazy.
Yeah. Maybe at some point you could make a self-contained aquarium that just takes care of itself. No maintenance required.
I hope one day.
It could make it a very popular.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna think about that. Maybe to do like a aerostatic balloon. That's what he said. Like the balloons that go to space. Maybe I can put a small goldfish in a container and then go to space with a GoPro to see how it works. I don't know.
Oh, that would be cool, like in a big weather balloon. And you could have the GoPro looking at the fish, looking at the earth. And it's like it'd be an aqua aeronaut with the
I know.
combination of water and air.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how to handle the freezing temperatures over there, but I will think about that. It sounds to be good.
Lots of insulation, maybe some heaters.
I know. That's good.
So did you know we were planning to send people back to the moon in 2024?
Yeah, I have heard that like a couple of months ago. I don't remember if it was an advertisement on Facebook or something like that that Donald Trump said that he approved. I don't remember like 25 millions or billions of dollars to that program. But actually, I haven't heard anything again regarding that. I know if it was canceled, or the NASA didn't receive all the funding. Actually, haven't read any news about that, which
Yeah,
is weird.
so it hasn't been canceled. Um,
Okay.
there are people working on every aspect of it, from launching the astronauts from Earth to the moon orbit, and then there's people that are working for a lander to get them down to the surface. Then there's people that are working on a suit for them to wear, and so all that is in the works. But they also did not receive all the money they asked for. But
Yeah, yeah.
on, on the other side, they're not doing it alone. Like the Canadian Space Agency, the European Space Agency, the Japanese Space Agency are all contributing resources to help make it happen. So maybe that makes it gives us some more flexibility, and also makes it harder for us to cancel.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know that. And where did you get all that information? Because I haven't seen anything like, for example, Elon Musk that he's like tweeting or do a lot of advertisements on, we're working on this, we're working on that. But I haven't seen anything like, okay, it's 4 years more, which is a close time relatively. So I haven't heard anything like, today we test this, or today we find a way to go to the moon faster, or whatever. I don't know where to find more updates about this program.
Oh, well, I can send you a whole bunch of links, but spacenews.com is one of the places I check out regularly. There's
Oh, okay.
they have some really good articles there, but there's a lot of other sites and Twitter accounts I keep track of. So
Okay, I will look for them. But it sounds really good. I hope that everything goes smoothly, and I hope to see humans again and in 2024.
yeah, absolutely. Do you know the last time that we sent people to the moon?
It was in 1960, or something like that.
Very close. Yeah, 1969 was the first time that people walked on the
Okay.
moon, and 1972 was the last time.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
yes, yes. Yeah, it was the times. That's correct. Well, that's been a while.
that's
And the last,
before you and I were both born.
I know. I wonder why they never returned to the space. I mean, I know that China, I think, that go to the dark side of part of the moon, and they just send like a robot or something to get rocks and then going back to Earth so they can study them. Um, but I wonder why they never put people again in the space. That's weird because it's super fun and it's like a huge step to the science and everything. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I'm
disappointing.
excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to finally. I finally. But what do you think about it?
I think that is very good. It's a huge step forward in science. It's like very much needed punch to the space related stuff. I mean, this it's been like not boring, but there hasn't been any exploding news lately in the last maybe 10 years or whatever. Well, there's been the Land Rover and all that stuff, but something like a human in the outer space walking is like we haven't seen that in 40 years. So that's really amazing, and I hope that everything comes in reality.
Of course, it may be a good thing there hasn't been any exploding news about space.
Okay, maybe I was incorrect with that answer.
But I
Because
know
in
what you mean.
yeah, in Spanish it's like explosion, so
Oh,
maybe in
really?
English it's not. Yeah, so
Okay.
maybe in Spanish it's in English. I'm sorry, it's not the correct word to say, but you understand me, which is
Yeah,
good.
no, no, it's good. It's good. Yeah, we always talk about things like that, like yeah, extraordinary. But not everybody is excited about us going to the moon. Some people are like, why are we sending astronauts to the moon when we have problems with like global climate change and poverty and social justice and economic development and with kind of making sure that everybody around the world are benefiting in sort of the developments and the advances that we have. And I was just wondering what you think about that.
Hmm, well, like I love science, as you may see and you may know. So I know the both sides of the coin. I don't know if it's correct to say that in English, but I completely understand that the problems are facing here, like the poverty, or like you said, the climate change, the economics right now, which is crazy. Also, coronavirus and everything about that. But I think that it's a good moment to think out of this planet, like to go forward and find a lot of things that is going out there. I mean, all the news are related to the globe, and it's time to imagine outside of this. Oh, that's the way of view. It's like an escape from all the problems that are going right now. I completely understand, and I see the point on that, people. But for me, it's a huge step in science, which I really, really love, and I will love to see going ahead and go through to this project.
I know it's kind of interesting. The U.S. actually spends more on our nuclear weapons than we do on NASA. And
Mhm.
whenever people talk about, I mean, like nuclear weapons have no purpose other than to destroy things. Like there,
Exactly.
there's absolutely no good that comes out of the nuclear weapon. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy. The budget that the military receive is billions and billions and billions and of dollars, and that's only for, like you say, for wars and destroying and everything. It's time to look to another place and do science and do more things that are better than doing the stuff like you say, like nuclear bombs or bacterial weapons and whatever. I mean, it's it's crazy.
yeah, and I, I much prefer to have, more policemen and soldiers kind of helping to keep the peace than
Exactly.
nuclear than nuclear weapons.
Of course, I know. It's crazy, as the but that's what it is. I know that's the what most people like, what most people think that that's safe for them to be like, oh, like America has all this power and everything, but well, that's the way it is. Maybe they're got influenced by the movies and all that stuff, but and I agree with you. It is better to have more military, more police to keep everything safe, everything working, than intimidate other countries with the nuclear power.
I mean, how do we measure our power? Is it by destroying things and controlling things, or is it by learning how to make them grow and how to make them develop? I mean, why can't a measure of America's power be how it's able to sort of transform the rest of the world economically? I mean, that would be really powerful, I think.
Yeah, me too. I think the same as you is way better to see. Oh, it's more powerful a country that have a lot of advance in technology, in medicine, in science, in engineering. I mean, that's way more powerful than say, we have developed the most powerful nuclear bomb in the world. For me, it's nonsense because it's going to be there waiting billions of years or millions of years in a shelf when you can have a little bit of advances each day in medicine, in science, in a lot of things that are more worth it than destroying things.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if it was safe and affordable, would you go to space?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, going to the moon or to the top side of the Earth, because going like 9 months to Mars, no, no, hell no. I will go crazy, like being like sitting in the place, like, okay, I'm going to be out of here like in 9 or 10 months. I will go crazy. But but maybe a couple of hours, or maybe a day or two at the most, will be fine. But of course, it was affordable, and if it's completely safe and everything, well, that will be a dream come true. They'll see with my eyes how the dirt from the outside, to be close to the moon. Oof, I think that that will be amazing. That's
Y- You know,
for me. It's
everybody's idea of safety is a little bit different. I think your brother David and mine idea of safety is a little bit different. I'm extremely scared of heights. I can't imagine skydiving. Would you go skydiving?
no, no, hell no. I don't know what's in the mind of my brother. He's like skydiving, and I love the heights and everything. No, no, no. I'm here perfectly fine, sitting in my chair with my aquarium here, and that's the most risky thing that I do. No, because no, the skydiving, no, forget it. No, no, no. I'm
And
terrible.
do you think at some point you might work up to it, or forever no?
No, yes, maybe yes. I was very nervous when I travel by plane. So, like 6 years ago, I was so terrified of planes that I start to take flight classes in Brownsville with a friend, which is a pilot, a private pilot, and he told me, "Oh, you're always terrified with the planes. Why don't you come here? I teach you, and then you, little by little, stop worrying about how to be in a plane." And that's what I did. The first time I was like terrified. I want to go out of here, like feeling anxiety. But then, day by day by day, I was feeling better and better and better. So maybe it's the same thing with the skydiving and all that. First time, like maybe was not a bungee jump, but maybe you can start like going up little by little by little by little, and then at the end of the day, you're going to do it. But right now, I'm terribly scared about doing a skydive.
Did you get your pilot's license?
No, no, no. I just got 10 hours of flight time. I finished my writing exam and I pass it. And then you have to do like 25 hours more of, how do you say, like, it's the theoretic, the writing exam, and the other is the practice. Well, you have to accomplish like 25 hours, like piloting the plane, and I just completed 8 hours because it's really expensive. I live in Mexico. I earn in pesos, and it's pretty expensive back in the day, and today also. So that's why I quit. But I would love to do it again and to finish my license. But I got the diver's license, the open water license.
Oh wow.
I Yeah, I have it with David. He gave it to me like for a birthday present. He was like, "Hey, I'm going to give you the diver's license, and we go to South Padre Island to do all the course and everything, and then we graduate in the open waters in the sea, which is super." So I never thought that I was going to be so not terrified, but the moment that they tell you one, two, three, that going back to the water and then feel looking below and you can see anything, it's like maybe it's the same thing that you feel in the space because it's like a zero gravity. You can see anything, and it's really scary the first time. Then like 10 to 15 minutes, and you're calm down and start enjoying. But the first time is shocking because you are like, oh, where I am, and you go look at up and look down on your sides, and you don't know where you are. But then you focus. But it's really amazing. I thought that maybe the space is going to be something like that. This is the
And that
closest thing that I can do to be in the space, to be in the water.
did you do that this year or was that a while back?
No, no, it was like 5 years ago. That's what you're asking me, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, it was 5 years ago when I received my license. Yes.
Wow. I hope to make a trip down to Brownsville sometime soon. I don't know when, but whenever I do, I have to come over to Matamoros and maybe we can have lunch or something.
Oh, yeah, sure. You should come
And you can
here.
show me the fish tanks.
Of course, you're more than welcome to be here. We can go and eat tacos. The best that you have, the best seafood also is here. There are pretty places. I mean, this is a small town, but I'm pretty sure they're going to enjoy. David's friend, so that is from Houston. He came like a year ago here to Matamoros, and he have never been in this part of Mexico because he has been in Cancun, which is like being in the United States, so it's the same. Everything is in dollars. Whatever you see is United States, American people everywhere. But here's like in a small place where it's very Mexican. And if you like Mexican food and all that stuff, I'm really sure that you're going to have a really good time. And you are more than welcome to be here. You can stay in my place. here with my wife. I don't have kids. I have a cat, and I have tons of fish.
That's awesome. That's probably you have a cat, you said?
Yes, it's a Persian cat, which is uh,
Um, does that cause you any problem with the fish? Like, have you noticed some
no,
disappearing?
no, no, no. That's only in the cartoons and in the
Oh, only the
movies. No,
cartoon.
yeah, that actually, my cat stays like 2 hours sitting here at the table looking at the fish tank. The
Okay.
first time I thought that okay, he's trying to eat the fish, but then the time passes, I thought like, oh, he's really enjoying because he's like staring like this, looking at the fish, and he's having a very good time though. So it's crazy. The first time I thought he's going to eat everything, but no, 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 he's he's very good. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Uh, it's a grumpy face, but
Wow.
uh, here it is.
Hello. That's so cute.
Thank you.
Well, I really appreciate your time. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't get to?
Let me think. So, have you ever, since when are you interested in all the space related stuff?
Well, I remember whenever I was a kid, like maybe 8 or 9, my dad used to take me to NASA over here in Houston.
Oh,
And I, back then, the facility was open. People could just walk on the facility and go from building to building and see stuff without any security or anything. And
wow.
like they would have different little exhibits set up in different buildings. And it was really neat because you felt like you're really on the real NASA. It wasn't like a museum. So it was
Wow.
really neat. But my friends and I, we used to watch Star Trek growing up. The idea of humanity traveling between the stars just seems like a natural thing. It's like that's what we're supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's just amazing how much we are fighting over such a little bitty part of the universe. Whenever if we can work together, we can open it up so much to all of us.
So, I know. It's amazing, you know? And you
Yeah.
have a telescope, a powerful telescope right now?
I don't. I borrowed your brother's for a while, and my dream is to buy one just like his. So that's what I plan to do.
Really, that's a very good one. I think that my brother purchased that telescope because when we lived together, I purchased it was a good telescope in the time, was a Celestron, and I was with my brother, and we all nights were staring at the stars and in the moon, and I'm pretty sure that he liked it a lot, and that's why he purchased that awesome telescope, which is really, really, really nice.
It is, yeah. It takes a little time to set up, and you have to be so careful with it because you're like, oh, it's so expensive.
I know, but it's great. I mean, my brother sent me some pictures that he recently took from the moon and everything, and was like, wow. I mean, my telescope was a $100 telescope, which was very good for me at the time. But right now, this one that he has is amazing, and I'm pretty happy about him that he got that telescope. But of course, the space is amazing. I love it. It's so strange. There is a lot of, I don't know, like how do you say? It's magical. Is like you don't know what is going out there. So very mystical, and I love that. I love that.
We have let's see. We our ignorance is bigger than our knowledge. We have more to learn than we know.
Exactly, exactly. The same as the oceans. We don't
Oh,
know anything.
exactly. And we should explore them too.
I know. Like I told you before, it's crazy that it's more expensive to go to the ocean than to the space. For me, that's crazy that they don't have the technology right now to go to the deepest part of the ocean, which is crazy. I think that they only know like 10 or 15% of all the species that are in the oceans, which is crazy. We know more about the moon than what's in below in the ocean. So that's pretty cool. No, it's two sides of two different things that we don't know anything about. So everything that is new, I'm very glad to hear everything.
Well, it sounds good. Until we meet, it was so good to meet you virtually.
Oh, thank you, Nathan. The pleasure is mine. You're more than welcome here. I spent a very good time. I hope to see you again. If you want to call me later, I will be more than glad to have a meeting again.
I really appreciate that. Well, you have a good rest of your evening, and I hope tomorrow we see amazing good things.
I know, I know. I hope that everything goes okay, and we will see tomorrow what happened. But thank you very much, and have a good evening too.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye, Nathan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Bye bye.